Hello everyone, I'm fine, thank you. We are here at Superbooth and it's an awesome first day. We have here the grid modular controllers. These are USB class compliant MIDI controllers. Each of them have their own USB-C connectors, pogo pins and magnets, so they can snap together like that. It's a very dynamic system and each of the modules are clever in their own way. So this module in this position, for example, sends out MIDI data on channel 1, but I can rearrange the whole setup and send a different MIDI channel and MIDI data in this position. So you can have different configurations even when rotated. So the modules are programmed with a custom software. We have here this grid editor, and that's like a cross-platform application, and you can even see how I'm rearranging my modules live. Currently, this very simple setup has also, with Ableton, sending some keyboard shortcuts, so I can change the tab and change my session view, play and stop what I'm playing back, or start a recording. Ableton has its own ways to map these things, but for example in Cubase or in another DAW, some things aren't exposed via MIDI, so then keyboard shortcuts and key bindings come in handy. So in this example I have the machines working with Ableton as a USB controller, but the software doesn't need to be open to make sure these modules are running. So I can configure them and then save the configuration onto the modules and just grab them away and use it with a synthesizer or another USB host. We made some mappings to have sequencers running on these devices and some crazy stuff. So it's pretty much limitless to when it comes to MIDI. So for example, this one is a 14-bit resolution MIDI controller. This one, the standard 7-bit MIDI controls. LEDs can be colored, and these are like endless encoders with push functionality. So you can have push rotation, or when you toggle it, change different stuff when rotated left or rotated right. So we really take apart all of the control elements and let the users come up with unique ways to configure and just experiment with stuff.
And what sort of MIDI messages can you send with these? What's the sort of range of MIDI messages that it will send out?
Well, that's a clever question. I'm not sure. Like here in this software, I have the push and rotate, and when I'm push and rotate is activated, then the commands can be changed. There are some defined simple commands, but I can just type in whatever I like, and then the parameters can be changed. The standard CC controls, all the channels, these can be calculated based on Lua scripting, taking into consideration each of the module's position and how they are aligned, stuff like that. So they can really run their own code on the modules. And when it comes to MIDI, I can just tap on 4. To that.
That's great.
So
yeah,
this
that's
value,
fantastic.
for example, will be equal with value, and that will be put into this small value place.
And how many of them can you run in one instance, for example?
Yeah, so for example, we say that it's like 10 or 12 modules which are saved with a single USB cable, but as any of them, I mean every one of them have their own USB-C connectors, you just have to slap in a phone charger and you are good to go with even more modules.
And are these available now? And how much do they cost? How much
they are available. We are running a small-scale operation from Hungary, Budapest, and they are like between 110 and 150 euros. So this is the simple bottom module on the lower end, 110. This is the latest module with the long faders and encoders. This is like 150, 130, and we have here potentiometers, and you know, this is like the 300-degree potentiometers. It's 120 as well, and the encoder one is also around 150.
And can you just tell us very quickly, like, how they are manufactured and what's like inside them?
Sure.
How are they put together?
So this is one of the main PCBs. We mainly focus on coming up with cool user interface layouts and stuff like that. I have a module. We have a prototype too. This will come probably in August. An XY pad with LEDs around.
Very nice.
Same magnetic thing. So here are the magnets, pogo pins, and here are on the sides 4 printed circuit boards, which are then with the flat flex PCB interconnected with the main board, and then it's assembled them. We are currently 3D printing all the module housing. This is an older one, looks pretty bad. And this is a bit newer one, but doesn't have all the inserts. So after 3D printing, we are CNC routing them to have a very precise sight, because we have to keep up this very snappy modular aspect of the controllers.
Well, they look great, Christoff. Thank you very much for demoing for us.
You're welcome, thank you.